Oh, hello. I was just doing some research. I got a new game for Febtari. It's called Acrobat, and I'm learning all the moves. Honest.
It's the merry month of Febtari, and I thought I'd get on board the bandwagon and do a bit of typing in. I've never done any Atari stuff before, so I had a quick look on archive.org for good Atari games in BASIC, and I couldn't find one that leapt out at me. So then I thought, why not see what the experts think over on Atari Age forum? And someone already asked that question, asking for top 10 Atari BASIC games from a magazine. That's my kind of bag, baby. Yeah. And there was an answer pretty much straight away. A game called Acrobat, described as Temple Run before there was Temple Run. And they even helpfully give a link to it. Following that link takes us to, again, archive.org, and a picture of a man's arse. Get in. This is Acrobat for the Atari, Commodore 64 and VIC-20. Here's the cover of that issue. Acrobat is clearly a cover game. You've got the bloke here doing his acrobatics over a bowling ball and jumping towards a parrot. Moving on to page 7 at the contents, and Acrobat is the first game in the magazine. Note, see page 145 before typing in programs. The game is also written by Peter Rizzuto. Let's look at the game itself. You're an acrobat and you're running along through mountains, jungles and underground caves while avoiding numerous obstacles by jumping, flipping or sliding underneath them. There are three different difficulty levels, and you get a free man at 2,000 points, 1,000 points thereafter. You push up to jump, press fire to do a somersault, down to slide, press space to pause, and then to start again, either press fire or Control S. Page 60 gives us a nice breakdown of the programming techniques, and then on the second column is the code itself for the Atari, reminding us, however, to look at the Compute's Guide for Typing in Programs before typing the program in. That's on page 147. And it is indeed a very useful article. It tells you what the strange symbols mean. Sometimes you have to press certain key combinations to get certain characters, and this tells you what they are. And also, there is a proofreading program. You enter the code of the magazine, and it tells you if you got it right or not. Typing in the proofreader was mainly entering data statements. It took about 7 minutes of time. However, it's a routine that you can use again and again. After typing it in, you run it, it loads stuff into memory, and then activates the proofreader. As a test, I typed the first line for the magazine, which is line 10, lots of various go subs, and at the end of it, it told me that the code at the top of the screen was JI. Comparing this with the magazine, we see in fact that JI is the characters to the left of the line number, and we've got it dead on balls accurate. That's the power of Atari.
Are you ready for pain?
Yes.
Are you ready for suffering?
I think so.
Then you're ready for Muscle Man Snorkers!
Oh, this will be much more useful. Oh, hello.
Now we get to type in Acrobat itself. Typing it in took around 2 hours. The proofreader was really useful. As we enter each line, we get the checksum at the top of the screen, cross-check that with the magazine, and we're good to go. I enter line 205 and I make a mistake, not a deliberate mistake. A mistake was by a slip of the finger, it happens, but the checksum is wrong and this tells me instantly there's a problem. I have to check each character with the magazine to see if I've done properly. Spaces don't count, but we are slightly off, and I found out I've got a character wrong, and I correct it, and we're good to go. Line 2030 is a bit more tricky. The checksum and what the magazine don't match. However, I've typed in exactly what's in the magazine. If stpig brackets O equals O, then go sub 300. The problem here is the magazine has printed the characters wrong, but got the checksum correct. This should actually be strig, whatever that might be, but it's some kind of function. And correcting stpig to strig makes it all work. I only find that out once I get to runtime though. Again, the checksums tell you something's wrong, but not what is wrong and how to fix it. Our next problem comes with line 10,010. It's rather a long line. It's split over the end of 2 pages, from page 62 to the top of page 64, and the checksum is JO. It's a rather long line. There's no problem, you type it in, there's no strange characters. As we get towards the end of the 3rd line, we get a rather unpleasant screeching noise. But I ignore that because I don't know what it is, and just carry on regardless. And then when you enter it, we get some strangeness. The checksum doesn't match, so we list the line and find out there's an error. Turns out you can only have 3 lines in Atari Basic. You can, however, use shortcuts to get you into the space, but the Proofreader program says not to use shortcuts because that makes the checksum invalid. What to do? After 2 hours and 10 minutes, I come to entering the last line, 31800, lots and lots of data statements. The Proofreader was a bit tricky with some of the things, but overall it's pretty damn good, and a nice feature. And we then save that to tape with the csave command. Let's limbo up. We've typed it in, we've corrected some minor issues, sorted out line 10,010, and we run. A lovely title screen, Acrobat! One moment please. That's all done with the Atari 8-bits graphics characters, which is just really rather nice. A absolute pain to type in, but they do look really rather lovely. Checksum wasn't much help because spaces don't count. Oh, and there's the Acrobat himself running across the screen. Marvellous, this is going to be brilliant. One moment please, while the loads data into memory and everything gets sorted. The screen goes black, and we wait a bit. I wait a bit more. I've now accelerated the footage. You can see the timer there. That's now 6 minutes, 7 minutes, 8 minutes, 9 minutes. Being very patient here. 10 minutes now elapsed, and we're still waiting. And then all of a sudden, the screen changes colour. Look at that. It's now purple. And it's lovely. So obviously something is happening. And you can keep waiting. And you can keep waiting a very long time. Because what I didn't realise was the screen changing colour is the Atari 800 screen save routine, where if you don't touch a key for 9 minutes or so, the screen will change colour every few seconds. Oh dear. Let's see what's going on. I reload my snapshot. Let's look at line 27,000. We do various things. Graphics O sets the graphics mode to text, and various pokes set the colour. One of the things we do is we set the background colour and the ink colour the same, so we can't see what we're doing. Get rid of that bit, and we can keep seeing what we're actually doing, because the Atari 8-bit has a thing called forced read mode, which this game uses to delete data statements after it's used them. This is useful if you don't have the 64K Atari 8-bit, because you get to save space. And here we're trying to delete these lines, and we've got an error 247 at line 27005. Error 247 is not listed, it's the Proofreader itself. Load the game from tape. At the time I didn't realise that the Proofreader was the problem, so to get around the issue I changed line 27,000, which does all the deletes, to just return. And now we run. And then we'll see it working. The Acrobat screen is nice big chunky graphics. You don't see this on any other video on Acrobat on YouTube, even the one by the game's creator, Mr. Rizzuto himself. I've actually managed to type this in properly, with the proper graphics as intended. There's the Acrobat running across. Beautiful. One moment please. This sets up the machine code in memory and the graphics. It doesn't take that long at all. And we start. We have some mountains. We have the land. We have some kind of foreground. And we want a choice of difficulty. Well, between 3 difficulty, 1, 2 or 3, and away we go. It's an endless runner. You run forward. You can jump. You can somersault, which means you jump slightly further. And you can slide underneath things. You're going to jump over the obstacles, duck underneath the obstacles. And after a certain amount of time, you go on to the next level. You get points for doing stunts. So I can slide underneath, or I can jump over. It's sometimes tricky to see if things are high or low, and once you've committed to a jump, you then can't cancel, so it's all or nothing. There's 2 arrows there. Nice jump over those. Here's 2 things. Easy there. Nice, just like Daley Thompson. Next to a nice double somersault there. Just made it there. It was very close. Jump over. Jump over. And it just keeps scrolling. This is in BASIC with a bit of machine code as well. You've got spikes, you've got interrupts, all kinds of really clever stuff, much beyond my capabilities. But it's a really, really nice job. And it's fast. This is the easiest level, or level 1. Level 3 is much, much harder. It's in level 3 difficulty. And here's some blocks and an arrow. Jump over those, and we're on to level 2. And it's gone green because we're now advancing into the Atari forest. I've got a bonus score. If I get to 2,000 points, I get an extra life. Here's an arrow. Jump over that. Nice and simple. Clara Lash Blonde. Arrow and a snake. Oh dear. Hands off Snakey, people. Hands off Snakey. Jump and jump. Lots of arrows. Here's a snake. Not animated, but what can you do? It moves very... Oh, there's a bird. Or is it a plane? Who knows? There's definitely 2 of them. Probably a bird in a forest. Jump over this. Jump over... Oh, have I made it over the snake? No, I haven't. The snake has bitten me. I've lost a life. Put my head to the ground in shame. We're still ready to level 2 before losing our first life. There's 2 snakes there. We keep running forwards. Jump over a bird and an axe. Obviously the woodsmen aren't very happy. Jump over a bird and another bird. Lots of birds. And an axe. With an old hatchet. Oh, and I've lost another life. Can I get to level 3? Jump over 2 things together. A few more points, like a bonus life. Nice double jump there. And that's a bonus life there. Up to 2 lives now. Jump and jump. Lovely trees, lovely scrolling. It's really rather impressive, isn't it, folks? I'm not very familiar with the Atari, that's why I was a bit surprised how amazing this game was. And I got to level 3! There are 9 levels in total of the game. If you get to 9 levels, basically you start again, then it basically gives up. We're now in a dark cave. If I get to 3,000 points, I'll get an extra life, but now obstacles come at me from both directions. They are coming from behind, and I've somersaulted and failed. Oh, I've cleared those. Look out for stalactites and stalagmites. Remember, if they're stalactites, I can C for the ceiling, G for the ground. The stuff underneath me, and it got me. And that's game over. But I'm not going to leave you without trying to see what goes into the game a bit further. Can I just get to level 4? I'm now going to cheat. I tried to do it legitimately. I'm now going to cheat using the GMI code, and I'm going to give myself 9 lives. Other videos on YouTube don't have the proper graphics, and they also start with 5 lives, not 3. So I think I've done pretty well. So I'm adding in 27,000 return. You don't need to do that when you get the game from Jim Blimey. You won't need to do this either. What I'm doing here is changing lives to 9 on line 20,000. On line 11,100, where we start again, I change lives to 9. That's when you restart. And this is the starting bit of the game, where you print the high score is 0, blah, blah, blah. Lives is 3. Lives is now 9, so it works. And we run. You see Acrobat again. Beautiful graphics. Remember, unique content on YouTube. There were other videos on Acrobat. Some are probably better than mine, but mine has the proper graphics. And there's the chap. Runs across, and away we go. The Atari Mountains. Choose difficulty. The easiest difficulty, level 1. 9 lives. Jumping over small molehills, perhaps. A molehill and some sort of fence. I can do it with the cha-cha slide there. Jump over. Skip over there. Beautiful. You know, I'm like a gazelle. Nice and easy. Jump and jump. Well, sliding gives you points as well. You get points for doing acrobatics. And sliding seems to make you go forward slightly quicker. And as you scroll forward, the game goes to the next level. So going forward is what you want. Doing a somersault makes you go further with the jumping. But here I can do a lovely somersault over 2 fences. 2 arrows close together. Just made those. Still got 9 lives, which is nice. Look at that. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Poetry in motion. He's certainly a fast runner. Can I get over... Yeah, I ran straight into that block, and I hang my head in shame. But 8 lives left. 2 blocks together, nice and easy to jump over those. Piece of cake. And on to level 2. With 8 lives remaining. Remember, 2,000 points, I get a bonus life. Jump over this arrow. Or is it a spear? Probably a spear more than an arrow. Spear and a snake. Here's a snake. Here's a spear. Probably thrown by some hunter. Maybe heard the hunter, who knows. Here's a snake. Lots of snakes in these woods. Fortunately, they don't bite you to jump over. Here's a bird. Is it a plane? It's definitely not Superman. Alley-oop. Alley-oop. Yeah, hang your head in shame, though. That's the extra life I've gone, just lost. Wakey, wakey, here comes 2 snakies. Clear those. Bird and an axe. Axe. Slide under the bird there. Very stylish. They're very stylish there, Mr. Acrobat. Jump over the axe. Could be a tomahawk. You never know. It is an American game. Could be, on Native Americans throwing tomahawks at the Acrobat running through the woods. Up we go. Up. Oh, underneath there. Very stylish. Alley-oop. 3,000 points. We get an extra life. Jump over the 2 spears. Oh, 2 snakes. Very. Oh. We were about to die, but fortunately we advanced to level 3. Into the dark cave. Possibly Carlsbad Caverns, which is a very famous American cave. Now there's stuff coming from behind, as it were, and in front. Which means you have to time your jumps carefully, otherwise the molehills will get you. A molehill from behind got me. Perhaps it's one of those American gophers tunnelling and then it broke my leg. Here are some strange things, possibly dynamite detonators, perhaps. You got the dynamite handle. There's a bat. It's all going in America, you know. Got in Britain, we have this man-eating toilets. America, they have like molehills and bats and axes, so much more realistic. So we do a jump, and I'm losing lives by the bucket load here. That was a minecart, which is nice to see. Obviously, another minecart. It's absolutely mayhem in this cave. There is no OSHA compliance. OSHA, of course, being American for health and safety. Perhaps they didn't have that in the early 1980s. Jumping over these minecarts. Now, level 4. You won't find this on YouTube. And level 4 just goes back to the mountains again. But now, it's much more difficult. Things are coming thick and fast. From in front, from behind. The 2 different colours of obstacles, blue and grey, come at different speeds. That was an extra life there at 5,000 points, which I've instantly lost. Because this is absolutely mental. You need to be on some kind of a narcotic to do this. This is level 4. There are 9 levels in total. This is the easiest difficulty level. This explains why I've not seen anybody get to level 4 on YouTube. Even the creator himself only got to, I think, level 2 before he gave up. It's great, but bloody hell, you're not going to get very far. I was genuinely curious to find out what happens at the end of the game and how bad the later levels got in terms of difficulty. Unfortunately, I'm not good enough to get there without cheating, even with 9 lives. Changing line 10,010 was just tricky because it's so long. But I found that line 10,011, once your lives hit 1, we set them to 9, therefore you can never ever run out of lives. So now I'm going to run this through at 10 times speed, keeping account of the deaths. And there you have it. It took 64 deaths for the Acrobat to beat Peter Rizzuto's Acrobat for the Atari 800 XL. Thank you all for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe.
And that's how you become a top acrobat.